always want to end on a fire volcano. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Law Matters School Bus, the most unprofessional D&D podcast you shall ever hear. I, of course, am your DM, Calvin Piper, and these fine people play the game of D&D with me. Tonight's prompt players, did you go around and introduce yourselves? If you had to watch a movie every year, what movie would that be?
My name is Michelle. I play Nell Webb. We were talking a little bit about it earlier. It'd probably be Twilight because there's no movie that truly.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay.
That makes me laugh as hard as that movie does, and it's not supposed to.
That is really fair. I've put Twilight on mute at when I was at the Rochester, and it's hilarious.
The baseball.
It's
the baseball
hilarious.
Scene kills
It's
me.
good.
Just the first movie?
Yep.
Weird Dutch-angle baseball set to Supermassive Black Hole is one of the most inspiring cinematography choices I've
And
ever
what a
seen.
wonderful song. Soundtrack banger.
Great soundtrack.
So is this a movie that we don't already watch yearly?
It can be if you want.
I love that this is the question that everybody's like, we have to think about this.
Christina
Christina
before
Perry's 1,000 Years is in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars, It Will Rain.
Yeah.
Paramore?
Heavy in Your Arms.
1,000
by
Years was
Lawrence
the
plus
reason that
Direction.
song was popular.
yeah.
Twilight made 1,000 Years popular. It exploded after that movie came out.
I'm pretty sure it made Paramore a little
By
more
Iron and Wine,
mainstream
yep.
than they
Yes.
already were too.
Yes, it did. Yeah, for as bad of a show or as bad of a movie as it was, it made waves for sure, for sure. So,
That's crazy.
anyone else got any movies they watch yearly or?
My name is Zach Kuyat. Oh, I've never done my last name. I don't think.
Whoa!
Gosh, dox yourself.
I do Kestis.
I'll
I
bleep
play
it.
Kestis.
His phone number. Hold on.
No
let me
last
tell his
name.
phone number. Your phone number.
And I live at...
555.
I play Kestis Thimbleweed. He's a centaur druid. And outside of the handful of movies that I do already watch at least every year, I think I would add Jurassic Park 3 to that canon.
Really?
Because I just every single time he is woken up on the airplane and the Velociraptor is sitting across the aisle from him and it goes, Alan.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
worth
that's-
it to me. I will watch the whole movie to get Alan
fair.
Yeah,
at least once a
every
year.
time. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good one to do. That's a good one to do.
It'd be like 365 days of anticipation for that one.
For that one thing.
I think the problem is that then you have to watch another hour and a half of Jurassic Park 3 afterwards.
Yeah.
It's worth it though.
But I think it's worth it to get one good Alan.
Just annually, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. Hello, everybody. This is Drew. I play Connie, the human monk. I do watch Moana multiple times a year, maybe like 6 times a year. So that's an admission right there.
6 times a year.
Well,
That's like every 2 months you get the itch again.
to be fair, for a while it was like while I was cleaning
Oh, it was like a
at
comfort
the Airbnb.
movie.
It would just be like,
Okay.
and then like,
Make way.
As
I
you're cleaning
sing
up people's
along.
crap, you're just
Yeah.
saying you're welcome all throughout
exactly.
the house.
The whole thing is very pertinent.
Yeah.
Like it makes a journey out of cleaning an Airbnb, and it's just the right length of time as well. But I think if I was going to add one, it would be my favorite movie of all time, Some Like It Hot. Billy Wilder classic, starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon. It's brilliant.
I don't think we
Very
could have
nice.
gone in more opposite directions with the answer to that
Yeah.
question.
I bet you should have.
My name is Matt. Plays Zook Magoop, male turtle, wizard 6, level 6. My favorite movie, which is funny because I didn't like it when I first saw it, was the J.J. Abrams masterpiece Star Trek from 2009.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
That's a good choice.
that's a good
Is
good
that
movie.
The one with
Uh,
Benny Cumberbatch.
No.
That's the sequel. I mean, I like
Okay.
that one too,
That's
but
the
not
one
as
where
much
they're
as-
like diving down that umbilical.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's a
It's
good
the
one.
one with Chris Hemsworth for a little bit.
Yeah. That's like his
Sure.
first
Like
movie. I
early
think.
Chris Hemsworth.
The,
That-
the
yeah.
earliest
Yeah,
Chris Hemsworth.
and then Marvel said, dibs.
We got this guy.
Kill him now, dibs.
We're scooping
He's
in
Kirk's
Chris.
dad.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
If I were to add one to the rotation, because
Mhm.
I already watched that one at least once a year.
These Pizza rolls gave me strep, by the way. I'm just warning everyone.
They gave you
Okay.
strep.
These have been here for a week.
Go ahead, Matt.
Recency bias, maybe, but really love that movie. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah. Need to see that.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's amazing.
It's a really good movie.
You've watched it?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
You should.
Those are both two movies that, in
I wouldn't do
various
that.
sequences, I feel like I'm gonna cry.
No.
Like,
Okay.
He's my wife.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that.
What headspace do I have to be in to be okay to watch that movie?
which one?
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Like, what do
I
what?
hear it's a rollicking good time.
It's very fun. Just
Yeah,
in
I don't-
the space
any
where you
kinda
can
headspace.
pay
It
attention
sounds
to
like it sounds
Okay.
like it's going to be way too deep and in here and make me go all like, fugue state
Like
for a couple days.
existential and stuff? Yeah,
but
okay.
it's supposed to be
No,
fun.
Just so long
Okay.
as you're able to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty absurd, but
Okay.
in a fun way.
It's
It's
got a
not
lot
like
of
the
good
message
emotion
down
to
the
it, a
rabbit
lot
hole.
more.
It's not like it's
Okay.
Kiwi Kwan is a treasure.
yeah.
I'm Will. I play Barrios. If we're going the Kevin James route, I would probably go with
'Cause we
Here
did.
Comes the Boom.
Ooh.
Great film
Good
about
movie.
math teachers becoming UFC fighters.
Yep.
Anyone mentioned Kevin James?
Well,
great
the whole
in Star
process
Trek.
is
Inspired by Till Death
by
Do
Paul
Us
It
Blart.
was.
that
It
was
was.
that was a week ago.
On
Yeah.
on last
That's
year's
true.
episode of Till Death Do Us Part, I think it was last year's. One of the bits that they did was they secretly assigned someone to watch Here Comes the Boom instead of Paul Blart, and they tried to guess who it was.
Oh,
Guess
it's such
who
a
watched
bad
it?
movie.
That's
No,
funny.
I think I'd like to watch The Departed once a year.
Ooh.
And spend the next 364 days trying to forget it, so that way when I watch it again, I'm like, shh, God, that's so
right.
good, so well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
like
one.
to do that in
Oh, that's a good
perpetuity.
problem. What's the movie that you forget's as good as it is when you see it again?
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's so
Twilight.
many of those.
Or like ones that you like just notice something different
Um,
every single time.
That's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh
Okay.
God, what is that movie? Real Steel.
I need to go back to that one.
Hugh
Yeah, I
Jackman,
like.
Rock'em Sock'em
Yeah.
Robots.
I do like that one. Yeah.
Go back and watch that again. You're like,
Jack'em,
ooh.
Rack'em Robots.
Jack'em Rack'em.
Was that the direct-to-DVD sequel?
It is.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't. Well, that's
Starring
some
Jew
type of
Hackman.
DVD.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever watch those direct-to-video like rip-offs of
Atlantic
big
Rim.
blockbusters?
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are
I mean, eventually.
You did just say Rack'em Jack'em Robots, as if that does not sound like the porn parody of
Probably.
a children's toy.
Did someone
Rack'em Jack'em Robots.
ever watch the direct-to-DVD alternative endings to all of those movies that we grew up with?
Sure we did.
I'm Matty B, and I
There
play
you
Wyatt
are.
Masterson, the Heron Gone Rogue.
Yeah, you
Um, It's a toss-up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
It's
is.
either probably it's probably gonna be the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Ooh, that's a shocker.
I was kind
I
of
have to
thinking
watch
more
that
of
one
a
still.
hotel.
I've never
Okay.
seen that one.
I'm a
Good.
big
Yeah,
movie
I've heard
guy.
it's great.
I
That was
love
an
that
excellent
film.
choice.
Fantastic.
It
Can I tell you?
color-
That made me feel instantly so self-conscious about saying Jurassic Park 3. I was like, oh no, that's
coming
a
out
way
with
better
these-
choice.
Come on, these banger
I'm a
movies. Like,
low-key
oh,
movie
dang it.
buff. Yeah.
Low-key was a TV series.
So that
Two
or
seasons.
I'm a real big sucker for baseball movies, so I really liked Trouble with the Curve.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I thought you were
I
gonna
think
say
I've seen that one.
Moneyball.
I thought you were gonna say Sandlot.
I like a lot of the
Field of Dreams
I
is
like
where
a
I
lot
was
of
going.
Clint Eastwood's
Field of
like
Dreams.
late movies that he's
He
done,
did make
like,
some really good movies
Gran
as he got
Torino is
older.
another great
Yeah.
one.
The character he wrote for himself in The Mule, where he gets to have a threesome, is just so inspiring.
He's in his mid to late 90s. He gets to have a threesome. Good for him.
Good
Goals,
lord.
man.
He's got one more movie.
Yeah.
One more movie.
Really?
Uh huh.
He announced his retirement?
Yeah, he's
No,
making.
no,
No,
his
he's
expiration
going
date
to
is-
die.
He's
Going to die.
100,000 years
They
old.
just turned him off.
Yeah.
He's
It'll
got like
happen.
one weird like courtroom drama.
Yeah,
That's what he
planned
wants to go out on.
obsolescence.
Yeah.
He's
Planned obsolescence.
Clint Eastwood.
He
Well,
plays.
Scott's
He
doing
plays
stuff.
an antique store owner who gets robbed.
Wait, he's the
He's a-
Yes,
he's a
planned
store owner
planned
who is an
obsolescence.
antique.
He is an antique store owner who gets robbed, and then he takes one of the old Colt 45s out of one of the display cases that he never sold. Turns out he used it when he was in Vietnam. Never forgave himself for what he did while he was there. But in his final ballad, just like in Gran Torino, he goes and he rights the wrong just before dying.
That movie is sick as hell. The thing that you just pitched is a great movie.
Yeah.
I have to say the only critique is it needs to be a 44 Magnum. Can't be a Colt.
Give him the Dirty Harry gun.
Has to be a
Have
44.
you ever
Back-
seen
back-
Sorry,
Backdoor-
with my bias.
Yeah,
Backdoor
that's all right. No,
Legacy
it's all right.
sequel
Oh,
to
it's
Dirty Harry, though? That's
wonderful.
sick.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I'll
true.
check it out.
He said, "Do you feel like you're back?"
All right.
What,
well,
is he trying to deliver a line?
before Matt says Clint Eastwood's name so he doesn't die after this episode, we'll go ahead and begin, and we'll hop right into what?
Hold on.
Yes.
On that note, did anyone else notice that last week we're joking, we're having fun,
Yep.
talking about the shrimp? We had talked about it the week before.
Yep.
Talking about eating all the shrimp in the world.
Yep.
And in the real world,
Where's this going?
Red Lobster lost $30 million over the last 2 quarters because they put on permanent shrimp fest. I'm
Did they
dead
really?
serious.
So everybody was on that same eat all the shrimp wave.
I'm actually upset that
It's
the
him.
7 of us have not gone to Shrimp Fest.
We've got to do it before
Flamingos
that
aren't even
company
pink
folds.
anymore.
Shrimp
There's
Fest
no
is
more
the
shrimp
all
in the
you can
wild.
eat shrimp, right?
Yeah, you choose two like
every August.
preparations, and they'll just keep.
I always
Hey,
landed
Matt,
on
what
my
would Shrimp
birthday.
Fest be if it
No,
wasn't
it's-
all you
it's
can eat
year
shrimp?
round.
I
It's year round.
cannot-
That's the problem.
I
What's the
have
other
eaten-
thing?
Why
that
would they
Shrimp
do that?
Fest would
It's just
be?
a
They said they
celebration
needed
of
to
shrimp.
bring the business back to Red Lobster, and they did. But everyone ordered that one thing.
Yep, Cheddar Bay biscuits and scrimps.
I think if we go
Those
in there, I
biscuits.
think we could take this business
You
all
have
the way
to go
under.
with the shrimp scampi because the breaded takes
Yeah,
up too
it's
much,
too
room
much.
in your in your stomach. But I have put down 127 shrimp doing that.
Did you dunk him in the water and just like slide him
Like
down
Joey
your gullet?
Chestnut.
Ugh,
And
Kobayashi,
I
that
smelled
shrimp.
like
How many?
garlic the next day so
How
bad.
many?
Coming out of your
127.
It was worth it.
Was that the best day of your life?
pit, and it's just
We made them keep a
just
assignment
the
there.
tail.
It was
Oh,
I
no.
might have been maybe 18. And went there with like 4 other guys, and we made them keep the little like saucers that are
Oh yeah,
yay big on the table, and we just stacked them.
that's so good. I ate 3 lobster tails in one
sick.
sitting one time, and like it was joyous at the beginning, and like just the idea of I can eat as many lobster tails as I want, and I was
Was it on the cruise?
upset. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, the next
I had
day
to-
is not great at all.
oh no,
It
that's
is
not
foul.
good. Mm-mm. So I could literally feel my blood pressure rise.
Oh
Can
yeah,
raise
12
and lower his cholesterol.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ring wouldn't come off my hand. I was like, I could feel the pulsing of my heart in my skin. It was tragic. Don't do that, kids.
Why did 3
Don't-
lobster tails
yeah.
do that to you?
Lesson from the wise: don't indulge,
Well,
overindulge.
It's
on
like they're
seafood.
like pure cholesterol. It's like, hey, I've pure,
Did lobsters store all of their cholesterol in their tails?
I mean, I think they're just made entirely cholesterol.
No way of knowing.
But we
Everything-
should. Everything
Yeah,
was
Michelle, you look
cholesterol.
at
and
it.
nothing- Wait, so where does
Lobs.
Kestis keep his cholesterol?
In his tail.
Because if you've got an ass end, is that where it always goes?
I don't know how.
Yeah, he's
I'm not a
thick.
doctor.
You said what?
I'm a
Kestis is
chiropractor.
dummy thick.
Oh boy, he's in his Lizzo phase. Kestis swallows a G-string.
Don't
Wait, there's actually an
overindulge.
answer for the cholesterol and the
Oh.
lobsters. I wasn't expecting it.
And we'll find out later as we jump into episode 17.
Episode
Where's the
17 is just
Tormalian
about
row on the
lobsters.
No,
Let her tell us. I won't be able to play.
of the Wild Magic School Bus. So the last time we were here, the band had successfully completed their heist of the Afterlife Casino, making their way back through the city during the beginning of the People's Celebration, this 3-day festival in which the city becomes alive and vibrant with the celebration of the new era. The crew made their way back after their successful heist, got back to the Athenaeum, where they began to identify and discover the items that they procured: the borrower's tome, the magic spell books, the strange arcane armor, the sword, and a deck of potential power.
A whole bunch of things.
A whole bunch of things. Returning the borrower's tome to their handler, Samia, they had a quick conversation with her in which she reaffirmed her desire to help them and to, hopefully kind of a help me, help you kind of scenario, and officially welcomed Barrios into the organization as a member of the group. But that is where we left the group last time, with the night still very old, and a celebration underway if they wish to embark on it, or the next day if that's what they want to do. So I leave it up to you guys. The night / early morning is yours. How do you want to proceed?
Shrimp party!
I'm going to give psychic damage to the next person that says shrimp. I'm dead serious.
Are we gonna go out and
What are you talking about?
I know you're gonna try and find a way to do it.
I'm not.
Do it.
It's not,
You're gonna find a way.
it's not at all what I'm trying to do. Nothing.
What if we're referring to someone's stature?
No.
if they're
That's
sort
a
of
valid
little?
If they're little, you can call them small, petite, tiny.
Shrimpish.
No.
Shellfish gathering.
Are we?
Be delicate with me. I'm a sorcerer.
So when I
knew he
ate
wouldn't-
those 3 lobster tails, I was at very severe risk for heart attack.
Yeah.
It's not shrimp. It's lobster. It's different.
Shrimp has been uttered now thrice.
You did it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was
Psychic, psychic.
I'll take it.
3d6 now.
He mentioned a crustacean, and you know what he meant.
Yeah, but he knows I was genuinely concerned about my health when I was on that Disney
You're
cruise.
alive still, dork. Clearly, you didn't have a lethal heart attack.
But now you've taken 9 points of psychic damage.
All of us?
All of you.
Suck
brain.
it. Guilty by association.
Mind spike.
The mats are innocent.
No.
No, they're all part of this group.
Oh wait,
Calvin doesn't believe in the Geneva Convention, so collective punishment it is.
Have we had a long rest?
Nope.
Yeah, we all decided to rest
9.
now.
I was say, do
This
whatever
would be
you
such
want
a
to.
funny way to kill
We're
a
gonna take
character.
a long rest before we do anything, Calvin.
I keep eating all
It's
that
just-
stuff
Thank you, Matt.
we ate earlier. Made me really. Hey, I think we should go sleep off all this food.
Maybe we all head home for the night. And
How long does this?
Enjoy the
how
next
long
couple of
does
days.
this party
The
go?
multi
3
day.
days.
Oh yeah,
What
yeah,
day
yeah.
is it?
You know the
First
first
day?
night
First
is
day.
never the best one. They're ramping up. I've heard about it.
All right. Well,
And you actually have a place you need to be on the 3rd night.
Fights.
The final fight takes place on the 3rd night of the celebration.
Well, then I better get some rest.
I'm down to party on the second day.
all right, day number 2. Where
His
should we?
hands are swollen from all the shrimp.
Where shall we meet up?
You won't do
10
it. You're not gonna do it. You're not
I
gonna
didn't
do
mean it. Hey, Calvin, it was accident.
It was an accident.
1 point.
What? For
It
everyone?
was accident.
It was
By association.
It was
By
accident.
association.
Calvin and his-
Mr. DM, it was accident.
Go take a long rest.
I better not trip on my way, cause
The next morning.
Well, that was a
for the evening, if we're going our separate ways,
I thought you're all sleeping in my room.
yeah,
oh
we're all
my
gonna.
gosh, yes. I don't feel good enough to go home.
Sleepover.
I feel
Yeah.
No, Kestis definitely does not want to spend the night in the room with
You
everybody.
can sleep in the hallway.
Sure. This
We'll
is
get
far,
him to
far
throw
too
some
much.
hay on the
Far too much
cobblestone.
human activity. So far too many people and crowds for the day. But he's gonna head back towards the orphanage and to his stable out back.
Sure.
Yeah, he tells
Take
us he's
the-
in the hallway, but he just actually leaves.
Leaves. he's gonna take the backpack off and
Climb
pull
inside.
out the box and stare long and hard at the deck of many things.
Use it,
And
use it.
there is something about it that being told not to touch it makes him really want to touch it.
Do it.
Touch it.
And he
It'll
there's-
fall
there's
off
a-
if you
there's
touch
the,
it.
The first hour when he lands there is just staring there thinking about it, and he finally picks it up, puts it back in the bag.
And
But then
you
he
said
but then he
that it
pops
was a
on the
bad
helmet
idea.
and tries to attune to the armor.
Just the helmet.
So
He fits it on as
yeah,
best
so
he
you
He
fit
wakes
on
up a puppet of a
you
small
fit
boy.
on the armor, and it's beautiful armor. It's got like a lacquer to it, the dark kind of brownish, almost black, with this just kind of a red hue to it that kind of reflects in the light a little bit. Studded leather, so it has these kind of silver rivets that run across the majority of it. As you put it on, you can feel almost like the leather almost like mold to your body, and after you begin your attunement process, it forms very well. It fits very nicely. You have attuned to it.
Stud
So,
for a stud.
Once you don the armor, you begin to feel this just kind of this weird kind of disjointedness almost for a moment, almost as if you're floating outside of your body, but not. It's like you feel like you could have an out-of-body experience, but you're not having one. It's a weird sensation, almost like you're floating, but not really floating. It's weird, especially because you are essentially two entities formed into one fantastical fey creature. You become more aware of that fact every once in a while, but it's bothersome, but it's not bad. But you do feel as though you have a pretty insane ability that you could activate, and the more you focus on it, at one point you feel this out-of-body experience. You open your eyes and you look in front of you in the stable, and about 30 feet away there's another you just standing there. It's translucent, but it is an exact copy of you.
I try to wave at it.
It mirrors your...
It's not waving back. It is
it's mirroring your
waving
your
into
movement.
a mirror. Okay.
Yeah, it's mirroring your movement.
Huh. You know, I took a lot of guesses as to what this might do, and that was not one of them.
Interesting.
You kind of like watch it for a moment, and you watch as Lawrence like pops out of your pocket and just kind of looks over at this thing. So looks back at you, looks back at this thing.
Is there a little Lawrence?
There is not a little Lawrence over there.
Okay. So Lawrence is
but
not equipment.
But he is staring at it for a moment, then looks back at you, and then kind of looks down at your hand, and then looks back at the copy, and you kind of hold your hand out, and do you cast anything?
Oh. Interesting. Yeah, I just I try to let an infestation cantrip go, just
Sure.
like a small
Just
swarm
release a
of
couple-
something.
So you release it from your hand, and you watch as the bugs kind of fly off into the night. Then you look back at the copy, and you cast it again, and this time it doesn't come from you. It appears in the hand of the copy.
Oh, interesting. Well, Lawrence, what do you make of that?
Looks up at you, looks up at it, blinks, and just kind of, and then goes, before it goes back in your pocket, looks up at one of the bugs, and then goes back in the pocket.
I'll have to remember that, Lawrence. I'm sorry I haven't tried that before. Well, that's an interesting development.
Mm-hmm. And after a few moments, it shimmers and disappears.
Huh.
You feel in that moment the magic of the armor kind of wane, and kind of
Thought it was
like,
the magic of a family he
it-
never knew.
I had a brother.
it fades. The magic fades, but doesn't go away entirely. You feel as though it's a limited ability.
Sure.
So, but yeah, you have, mechanically speaking, as a bonus action once a day, you may cast a translucent projection of yourself that can make attacks and cast spells from that self. That self is also immune to all damages and conditions.
Oh.
And it ends after your turn.
Does
So like lasts a turn. It can do something
So,
on that
beginning
turn,
of your
and then it's
turn, End of your turn.
It's a really cool 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Does this have a name?
I will say this, just out of game. I may amend that to be the end of your next turn, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's a brief. It appears you can use it, and then it is. But it is a from your immediate perspective, it looked identical to you. It wasn't. It was translucent, but it wasn't to the point of like, what is that? It looked like you. So, in theory, it's also a strikingly good visage of you that could pass off to a glance as you. So
very interesting. Does this item have a name for the purposes of putting it in here?
I cannot tell you.
Oh, okay, interesting.
You do have studded leather armor, and I will send you the text of it so that you can have that. But for the purposes of this, I cannot give you all of it.
That is ominous.
Actually, you know what? You of all people, I think could handle it. Actually, handle it. You'd be able to do something with it. So yeah, you get Voidwalker armor.
Oh.
I feel like you could take the information and use it to like better your character. I feel
The
like
rest of you guys are dummies.
No, it depends on like there's only so much metagaming you can do when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm trying to like balance that, but I think
sure
I'll see what you do with it. So
sure.
But yeah,
interesting. Well, that's okay. All right. Strange day.
as you're kind of like thinking of it, you're like, oh, that was weird. You hear this, what's that? And you turn around immediately and can see, like, looking over the edge of the stable is William's looking at you, just like giant eyes, like.
I wheel around and I take the helmet off and I stick it in the bag and I go, hey, Will,
Hi.
I had some work today. Did you get anything done? You get enough for dinner, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's all good today. Yeah.
Oh, good. What was the meal anything worth having?
Oh, I mean, I could try to get you some if you're hungry.
No. I had a little bit of something at the job. So I'm doing just fine. I ate a bit of shrimp on my way out.
Excellent.
It's how you do it.
Gotta kill Connie at this point.
Connie was just lying his head on his pillow.
2 points.
All right.
I got a little bit.
Will
he's not in
nods
the room
like,
with us anymore.
well, that's good. So it's a good job. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's been great actually. It's exciting.
Good.
And I've found
Got
some new stuff.
Some very cool stuff. Yeah.
Which is exciting.
great.
Made a little bit of coin.
Oh, excellent.
And I've actually learned something that I was thinking maybe you and I could head out over to the Grove in a couple of days and I have something I want to try.
All
I
right.
thought maybe you could come help me out with it.
Yeah, of course, Keith. Whatever you need.
Yeah,
I'm more than You know, I'm always looking to help.
Yeah, well, we not just yet. You know, go into town.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy the festival. Maybe pick a pocket or two.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. the next time this happens, you'll be what, 30?
I can't count, so yes, probably.
I guess I'm not that good at math either.
It's
so
not great,
I'm not
yeah.
exactly sure if
No.
that's right, but it'd be something like that.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, absolutely.
You should enjoy it.
Yeah, I will.
That means dead.
Can you make a perception check for me?
I would love to.
Like one thing counts.
13.
It's hard to tell in this light, but Will seems to be hiding his face.
He got a tattoo.
He's like the Mike Tyson.
Yep, Mike Tyson on the side of his
He's
head.
super proud of it.
Acne.
So, Will, what did you manage to do to meet your quota today?
Oh, usual. I was just I did lots of banging, and then I stole
Wait a
I
minute.
stole some stuff. You know, the usual stuff. Nothing crazy. Nothing like you going off and doing really cool jobs. Just the normal stuff. That's it.
Oh, well, I mean, it's all just work. You wanna see this other thing I found?
Yeah, sure. What do you?
Come here. And I pull the mole out of the bag. Come check this out. Come look.
Oh! He forgets himself for a moment and steps over to see you. And as he steps into the light of the candle you have in your stable, you can see there is a large black eye.
Mm-hmm.
As he's just like looking at your maul on earth. Wait, what is that? It's so big.
Well,
What?
kind of swinging it around.
What?
Yeah, you better be careful. Watch where you keep your head when I'm swinging this.
Pray there's no tables about.
And there's like a crate in the corner. It's like, watch this. Just like destroy a crate.
Just splinters everywhere. That's amazing. It's like magic.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
It's because it is magic.
That's so cool.
There's magic on this. There's magic on this. I've got more stuff in the bag that's got
You
magic
got all
on it,
kinds
too.
of things. That's amazing.
I found a
Yeah.
couple of interesting things,
Yeah.
and I sort of tell him about the job and
Yeah.
and like
Oh, he
you know,
listens.
I turned into a spider, and then I snuck under a door, and there was a magical book that I needed to get back, and I saw this there, and I thought, I'll just smash the whole case. I took 3 books.
You
from
took
just
all
one.
3
I
books?
took 3 books, and then
That's
I have this. Look, this bag too. There's magic stuff in it, and the bag is magic too.
How's the bag magic?
Look at this, and I
He's sitting there.
just like put him in the bag for a second, just like. bloop. This is how we learned the infernal bag of holding sends you to hell.
Oh, and
back and-
William's a thief. He's going.
Yeah, what if?
Yo, he's so mangled you cannot see his black eye anymore. He's just
Because
to tell.
everything is ruined.
Just a giant scar across his face.
And I try to keep him entertained for a little while,
Yeah.
and let him try his best to pick up the mall, and
He
can't
tries.
really get it.
He
off the
tries.
ground,
It's not
but
great, but he tries.
It's okay. Hey,
distract him from the very real trauma that he's gone through.
like hey, we'll train a bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get you doing some push-ups out there.
Okay,
I,
yeah.
I don't actually know how to do push-ups. That's because I can't reach the ground.
Oh, maybe like
So your
horse.
pecs like super underdeveloped. Your
Yeah,
shoulders.
probably really underdeveloped
Will
pectoral
would be able
muscles.
to tell us what that would do. What if you could never do a push-up or a press? Sorry, Calvin.
If you could never do it, well, I mean,
I suppose I could do
Is it
Yeah,
this?
if I had a machine.
it's
I could do
anything
a
that goes
forward press.
away from you.
Yeah, is this what you would look like if you could never do a push-up or a press?
Flat chested as hell.
I take Lawrence out of the pocket. I set him on Will's like in the mop of
Yeah, up
curly
in his
hair that
hair.
he's got. I say, hey, what happened here?
Oh, it's nothing. I was stealing something, and they were like, "Hey, you come back here!" And I was like, "You can't catch me!" And I'll hit something, with my face.
Did you hit one of those people you stole from with your face?
No. I just hit a wall.
You ran away and you ran right into a wall.
Yes, with my face.
It's only a 12 insight check.
Not hard.
He's a child.
He's a decent thief, but he's not a good liar.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a child or is he a really small Russian adult?
Also, I figured out which circle of hell he would be in.
The liar's circle.
Thank you.
which-
Yeah. Yeah, snakes bind thieves' hands behind their back and torture them in various ways.
Oh,
Like black guys.
he probably
For thieves.
love that.
Yeah.
Will, you don't get caught very often.
Yeah, I know.
Were you
I
off your
just-
game today, or did something else happen?
She told me not to tell you, Kisseth.
Who did?
Sarah.
Well, since when do you and Sarah keep secrets from me?
Since you've been busy.
What happened?
Mam's been trying to get us to do more work. Trying to get us to do things worther than we already do. And I couldn't do it. So she said I had to be an example for everyone else. It's not that bad, honestly. It doesn't even hurt anymore.
No, you wear it well.
Thanks.
Was things worse than you already do? What's she trying to make happen around here?
I don't know. She might have. She made a few of us go out and do what we normally do, but she told us that we had to find people who couldn't defend themselves, like old people and like weak people, and she said that like if they put up a fight, then we should fight them back. And I'm better at running than I am at hitting, so I couldn't do it. And she was there. And something's wrong, Kisses. She's angry about something. I don't know what it is. But it's not good.
Will, you're right. You're better at running than fighting.
Yeah?
Stick to running.
But what if I can't run anymore? I mean, I don't have anywhere else to go.
In a few days, you and me are going to work on that.
You mean it?
I mean it.
Okay.
For now, you're better at running than fighting.
Better at running than fighting.
And you certainly don't. If you're going to fight, don't go fight old people.
D-
You're never going to feel good at the end of a fight with an old person.
It didn't feel good at all. It didn't.
No, because
it
if you
was-
lose, you lost a fight to an old person. If you win, you beat up an old person.
No, I didn't even fight him. I just ran away. But
That's
it was
what you
not-
should do.
Yeah, I know.
Thieving is one thing, but
Yeah,
I mean, if people are keeping things in their pockets, they're basically asking you to take them in the first place.
I know, right? It's like they're just leaving it out there for us.
It's right. I don't bring the things that I want to keep on me in public. Now, I don't have a lot of things that I really want to hang on to,
Mm-mm.
but if I did, it wouldn't be in my pockets.
No, that's silly.
That's basically asking for me to take it off your hands for you.
Mm-hmm.
Keep thieving. Nothing wrong with that.
All right.
You don't need to fight an old person or a sick person. What's the point of that?
There isn't.
Connie's next matches with a geriatric.
It's just a sick
That's
old
what I
woman.
promised Toggle Pocket, that grandmas were going to fight.
John Knox
And I-
coming into the ring.
And it's a real little old sick lady, and then Connie with a white wig.
Yeah.
I hold my hand out and I let Lawrence hop into my palm and I put him back in the pocket.
Yep.
I say, hey, you want to sleep out here tonight?
Can I?
Yeah, why not? It's a little more, exposed to the wind, but
That's all right.
hey, I'm sorry that happened. You didn't deserve that.
It's okay.
I'm gonna try to talk to Ma'am about it for you.
Okay. If you do, don't tell her I said anything.
Who said what?
Well, you said it. I figured you did. You making the.
Okay, you can keep up. Come on.
Okay.
You
Thanks,
got it.
Cassis. I'm gonna get some sleep.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Let's call it a night.
He
Put the mole back in the bag.
set it back in the bag. He gets a little spot to get some rest and kind of positions himself directly underneath you and just kind of falls asleep there.
Perfect.
But your evening is, while you do get the rest, it is not as restful as it could have been with all of that. But
Well, there's a lot going on right now.
yeah. Now, you come back to your humble abode as the evening, as you get home. I assume that's where you're going, yes? Okay. And as you come home, you're immediately greeted by the frantically waving arms of your unheard servant as it's like waving at you and like pointing at a table.
Yes. I'm taking my shoes off, gradually making my way over. Yes, hello, I'm happy to see you too. You're a figment of me. Of course you're happy to see me.
It reminds me of like Beetlejuice when he's like, you got the big sack.
That's pretty good. That's good. I like
Okay.
that.
If you ever produce Beetlejuice the musical, there's your Beetlejuice.
Ooh.
Nice.
The second
Get it on
one's
the
coming.
agenda.
But as you're kind of casually just going around, it is still frantically pointing.
I'm taking my coat off, making my way over. Yes, what?
You come over to the table. There is
Amazon delivery.
Yeah.
You see your message scroll is open, and there is a note on it.
What's it say?
Where have you been? Where have you been? What's going on? Where are you? Nell, answer me. For the love of Vox, answer Nell.
Oh.
Nell's got a boyfriend.
I've been fine. How are you? Thanks for asking.
So I'll just go ahead and pin a note back. Well, I'm home now. I was off doing missions for the Ark. Quentin Togglepocket, just so you know, dick. Huge asshole. Unkind. Got his fortune, we think, from a deck of many things. Has recently been robbed. There you go. Maybe that's info you want. Love now.
I don't think love really came across in the text.
Well, you'd be a little haggard too if you got home after all that's going on, and then just, first thing through the door, nobody even says, "How are you? What's going on? You having a good time, good life." They just hit you with the questions, and here's what you have to do.
Okay, now, real talk. Are we in a fight right now?
It's the next message that pops up.
You can't convey emotion very well through text.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Haha.
LOL.
The message immediately comes back. Never mind that. What about the mission?
Well, I think this was a part of the mission. Is what Quentin Togglepocket had a book that belongs to the Ark that he came across somehow. The Ark doesn't know how. They keep them under lock and key, but it's like a compendium of everything, like a library inside of a library.
Do you have the book?
The Ark has the book.
There's a long pause, and the message comes back. Nell, Varama has been by. She doesn't think you're doing your job well. I've tried to tell her otherwise, but unless you can provide more information, they're pulling the mission. You'll have to come back.
In order not to compromise anything, I have to be intentional about what I do and do not do, especially with so many others around all the time.
Understood. I'll do what I can to explain the situation, but no, it's gone past my head.
So be it.
Stay safe. And the message ends.
See, now that wasn't so pressing, was it? You could have given me 5 minutes maybe to go to the bathroom, to wind down.
Just walks away. Barrios, where do you go?
To the moon.
Yeah, yeah, I go back to the...
naked in the ditch.
I go to the Hupper because I know I can hide within my own house pretty easily,
Sure.
even if someone comes knocking. But when I get close to my house, I'd like to do a little perception before I get
make a perception check.
there to
Yeah, go ahead.
make sure I don't walk into someone accosting my home. 18.
18. Empty streets.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Then I, still being like super paranoid,
Sure.
I'm gonna investigation check as I walk in my front
Yeah,
door.
looking around, checking everything.
13.
House is empty.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then I'm going to go through the house and get onto the roof, and I'm just gonna sleep outside on the roof.
You fall asleep. And you have a dream. You dream that you are high above the plains of Udall, out in the starless sky, with the moon shining almost like blindingly bright, in contrast to the world around you right now. And as you look up and kind of see the moon bigger than you've ever seen it before, more majestic than you've ever seen it before,
Pretty hot.
there is a moment of, you feel this connection, this closest that you have, and then all of a sudden that connection ends. And as it does, you look up in bewilderment, and the moon begins to turn red. But not red as in like a blood moon. Red as in fire. As it begins to hurtle itself past the horizon and into darkness. And you wake up in a cold sweat.
Okay.
Connie,
What?
do you go home?
No. What? Connie does not feel fit enough to go home. He is hurting. He had a lot of physical abuse in the fight, and he took a lot of unexplained psychic damage. He thinks it's due to the high cholesterol in the shrimp that may have caused some brain. Damn it.
2.
He is really, every moment that he stays awake. Oh, no,
Just
that
more
was-
painful.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Okay.
You rest where you are. Nothing crazy
Yeah, in his room.
in Zook's room. All right. Yeah, so you rest there. The night passes you by without any issue, other than just kind of the tumultuous like sleeping of the
Sleeping on a pile of books.
pile of books, and then all the other stuff.
Blankets.
They're leather bound. They're a little soft.
Yeah, they're softer. Your sleep passes by pretty seamlessly to Zook. Nothing happens. You've got Connie. Everything's pretty copacetic, except for the nagging feeling of why your dad was in the book and what that means. And what does it know that you haven't been able to figure out all these years? But more questions than answers, unfortunately. Wyatt, where do you go?
Wyatt is actually gonna go, now that he's actually had a chance to just kind of be for a minute. He's gonna go to the one main place that he can remember, and that's the tavern, to try and start there and see if he can piece together why he seems to have forgotten a lot.
Yeah, you head back to the tavern. You find that there's a room for you. Doesn't really seem like much of a, just kind of a room, empty. Not much about it. Do you want to make a check of any kind while you're in here?
Well,
Do you
I
want
was
me to
wanting to
make
go.
That depends. Do you want me?
I'm gonna assume that I'm on probably a first name basis with the bartender or the tavern keep.
Sure.
Go ask him if there had been, if there had been any people coming around as of late, or ask him questions as far as like I mean, even basic stuff like how did I get here? Why did I? Clearly, like, I'm
Okay.
gonna assume that he's gonna know a bit about me since I've been staying there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you head down to the bar. It's pretty quiet. The owner of the bar, Mr. Connor, is cleaning up after some people have left, apparently. You sit down, get a drink, and begin to just ask questions. Is that what you're...
Evening, Mr. Connor.
Mr. Matheson.
Oh, shoots.
Long day.
It's been a long last couple of days.
Hey.
Do I happen to have a usual?
And, mostly just ale.
Oh, carrot juice.
And he sets a ale cup in front of you.
I'm sorry, unfortunately I was in an accident, so I really don't, I'm trying to piece together a lot. Like, I wasn't even 100% sure whether I had a usual here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Something told me to come back here. Do you know why I'd come back here?
You have a room here.
I do. Okay. How long have I been here?
A month or so.
Am I the only one that has a room, keeps a room here? Or is it just me?
There are others, but you have been the most consistent. People come for a few days, several weeks before they move on, but you have yet to do so, and your coin is still good, so I see no reason to break this arrangement.
Well, I appreciate that kindness. Have I had any, do I ever have any visitors at all? Family? People?
Not that I have seen. No one has asked for you.
Okay, well, suppose I'm off to bed. Which way's my room?
He points you to the direction of the room that you're staying in. And you make your way. It's a simple room: a bed, dresser, small mirror, little basin for washing. Comfortable, but simple room.
Well, I guess I'll just go to bed.
Your sleep comes to you, but not well. It's hard to get good rest. You keep seeing and feeling these different kind of like images and thoughts, snapshots of things that you weren't really aware of and not really sure kind of what you're seeing. But it's there's a moment in the dream that you're having where you're standing somewhere, but you're not sure where you're standing. You're talking to people, but you don't know who you're talking to. And then all of a sudden, one of the faces makes sense. It's clear. It's this greenish gray looking creature with pointed ears and kind of sharper teeth, but with glasses, holding a small book. And you look at it for a second, you're like, is that Arthur Grimm? You know the name. You know the face. How do you know the face? And you see Arthur Grimm just kind of looks at you, expressionless, doesn't really say anything, just kind of stares at you for a moment. And you're like, the last time I saw him, and then you look back up in his face and you just hear this. And you look down in your hands. And you're holding the weapon again. And you look back up and you can see Arthur falls with this giant gaping hole in his chest. And you look down and you're like, why would I shoot Arthur? That doesn't make any sense. The confusion pulls you out of that dream. You wake up. You look around the room frantically. You're not lying in bed. You're lying on the floor. Your sheets and blanket kind of tangled around you. A few of the floorboards have been moved and there's a chest lying on the floor.
Well, I'm gonna get up and move towards those boards and that chest, and I guess try to open it. Is there a key?
Opens up. Pops open. It's unlocked. Key in the keyhole. Inside of it you find some sort of a dark cloth material, an outfit of some kind. 2 black-handled silver daggers in beautiful condition. And a strange device, these wooden handles, well worn, kind of worn down by the hands that have held them. These wooden toggles, probably about the size of your fist, and running across them about 12 inches or so of finely twisted, thin, yet surprisingly strong metal.
What in the world is this? Does anything kind of come back to me at all when I see this?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
5.
What do you have any pluses?
Plus 13 maybe.
Plus 3.
Oh,
So 8.
a big ol' 8.
You can't place these items. And much like Zook, you're left with far more questions than you have answers to. A tumultuous night for many people. And that is where we will leave you all tonight, with the group getting a rest, but more things beginning to come to light. And hopefully more answers at some point. But until that happens, thank you all so much for playing. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. This has been the Wild Magic School Bus. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Later, losers.
2 weeks in a row, dude.
You're so bad.
There's a true crime podcast about a murder that happened in Independence, like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, started listening to it. You know, they're talking about Stadium Avenue and all this, like, oh, these are Independence things. And then it spends 30 minutes of the first episode interviewing her friend. She's like, she was a really good girl. I could give a fuck. Can we get some information? When we were kids, we used to play it by the train tracks that were in our backyard in the woods. I still look up to her.
I hope to God, if
I don't
anything
care about
ever
that.
happened,
Tell me more about streets that I know the names of.
If
Say Sterling.
If you don't say Sterling, I'm going to throw this whole podcast away.
If anything ever happened to me, not a one of you tell them her smile lit up a room. I want you guys to tell them how foul I was. Give them only clips of this podcast. Sully my reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I ever die tragically, I want people to represent me accurately.
He made me bad
all of
coffee
the
once.
nonsense that I was most of the time. He was like fine at his job most of the time, and he was okay to be around.
I'm gonna be real. The only thing Michelle loved more than Calvin was how much she hated everyone else. We could write some great eulogies.
Yeah, if you die tragically, I'm going to your funeral and be like, thank you all for being here today. Zach was a cuck.
Yes. That's what I want more than anything. I want at my funeral everybody to give whatever impromptu speech seems the funniest.
Ooh. Oh, because then everyone's got to one-up each other. So I'll go first. I'll set the bar.
Keep trying to be funnier. Yeah.
Just try to be funnier. Yeah.
Are we really going to miss him?
Yeah, Zach, I knew
Are
him.
we really gonna miss
And then sit back down. Yeah, I knew that guy. Anyway.
Really,
later.
guys, it's been a while since we've seen each other. Want to hang out after?
Yeah.
Cool.
Jack Kujath was a great guy.
Oh, Kujath. I hit him with Kujath at the funeral. That's really good.
Mr. and Mrs. Kujath, I'm very sorry for your...
I knew Zach Kujath for many, many years.
There's one thing I knew about old
And-
Zachary Kujath.
And your last name was one of those words that I learned from Reese.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what was
Zachary
really great?
Kajaffrey.
You know what was really great about Zach and like everyone who knew him or came in contact with him is that we all pretended like he was actually a good singer
And a better
the whole
actor.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
the only thing longer than Drew's hair was his age. Thank God it stopped. Moving on.
The aging
That's
is
not
over,
true.
but the
Your
hair
hair
will
keeps
continue to
growing.
grow.
Oh, fuck.
It's not that your hair continues to grow; it's that your
It's
skin
you
recedes
shrink.
from your hair.
There's a huge difference. Oh, goodness.
Zach loved catching pizza rolls with his eye.
I guess I'm the only one
The
who
young
doesn't
man never
know
took
about
his eye off the
receding hair,
ball.
though.
Just gonna go to... I know Matt Yang so
Hey, bro,
well
your
that I
hairline
asked him about
is a crisp
Japanese
hairline.
culture in
It's great.
earnest.
You have a crisp hairline. Yeah, it's
Proceeded
great.
to tell me about Dragon Ball.
Told him I loved his culture. Sushis
Told him I
and
love
Dragon
his
Balls.
culture, and I talked about Vegeta for 2 hours.
Vagina.
Just that was the funniest Dragon Ball character that I could think of, and I think it's a Dragon Ball character.
It is. You are correct.
Majin Buu is a great name as well.